Hi. Welcome to my channel if you're new here, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Debbie Mediati. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and women's empowerment coach. I'm the creator and founder of Rebel Coaching and Rebel Therapy. I'll leave all my information in the box below. So I've started a series going over each of the major arcana of the tarot because it's one of the modalities that I use in my work. I find that it can really be quite helpful. I use it personally and professionally, and I find that it can be quite helpful with deepening our self-awareness, understanding the energies of the moment, perhaps. I don't use it in a predictive fashion, but it can speak to things that we may want to consider. Energies that might be present, certain questions that can be beneficial as prompts regarding what you may have come to your deck to inquire about. Okay, so today we're on card 8, the card of strength. So as always, I'm going to ask you to come to your seat. Kind of land in this moment, this 10 minutes or so just for yourself to find your seat, take a deep breath and exhale. And as we're learning to tap into intuition, it's important to spend time with a card. Noticing the colors, what comes up for you around the colors, around the image. Perhaps you're into numerology, so what does the 8 represent for you? If you know your life path number, might be important to know. What does the symbology bring up for you? So we see a young woman with the infinity symbol over her head. We see her hugging a lion, wearing all white. So strength is the card of Leo. Leo is fixed fire. We also know that, and I always encourage you to look up Rachel Pollack's work. She sort of has a couple of resource materials that are kind of considered the Bible of tarot. And in her interpretation of the major arcana, there are 3. There's the Fool stands alone, and then there are 3 groupings of 7. And strength starts the second line of the tarot, which is self-discovery. So if we think of it in terms of the beginning of self-discovery, what does strength show us? So the first thing that comes to mind is that whether you've consulted the card, you've pulled it specifically for its message, particularly for its medicine. You've placed it on your altar, you're checking in with it every day, or perhaps you were just consulting the cards. Maybe you do a morning pull or a daily pull, and the strength card popped out. So what might that mean? So if we're looking at it in terms of self-discovery, which I think all of tarot is about self-discovery, then what are some things that strength might prompt? So one of the things that is sort of traditionally thought to be true of the strength card is that it's an inner strength achieved through gentleness, achieved through softness. Now, we can imagine that one would not walk up to a lion in real life wearing a flowing white gown and snuggle and put our arms around that particular lion and nuzzle its face the way the image here in the card is. Why? Because we'd probably get ripped to shreds, right? So, but the symbolism here is that when we approach something difficult, something seemingly impossible, something that feels like it requires courage, something scary, like a lion. That if we, so our self-awareness is, do we approach these situations by muscling our way through, by being aggressive, by fighting everyone in our path because we are on a mission and we're going to get there no matter what? Or do we take a softer approach? So let's say that you came to your card pull and you were asking a question, a particular question. And so some of the questions and prompts you may want to venture down, you may want to ask yourself, if this is the card you pulled, is, am I really hard on myself? Do I treat myself in an aggressive manner? Is my internal narrative harsh? I come across this a lot in my work and personally, where we are our own worst critic. The voice of the critic, the inner critic, is not only loud, but harsh. Do we demean ourselves? Do you use derogatory language with yourself? Do you call yourself stupid? Do you doubt yourself at every turn because you feel that you don't have what it takes? You're not as skilled. You're not as good. You're not good enough. I think it's really important when the Strength card comes up to get really clear on your inner dialogue. Because a harsh inner critic isn't going to get you. I mean, it might get you to your goals, but not in a sustainable way. Because if you truly believe that you're not good enough, or that you really don't have it like other people do, then how are you going to stay in a state of achievement and success? How are you going to believe that you are truly deserving? How are you going to behave when you get to your goal if you don't feel that you really deserved it in the first place? It's toxic, right? That energy. We see so much of it right now in the world. It's toxic, right? So I would encourage you in your self-discovery exploration with the Strength to begin a softer dialogue with self. How do you speak to yourself? And really pay attention to it and modify it, alter it, get real clear. In my work, sometimes I encourage clients to imagine themselves speaking to their own children, anyone that they love. Would you speak to that person the way you speak to yourself? Inevitably, people are sort of awed by that, a little floored by that. Like, oh my God, of course not. I would never speak to my child that way. I would never speak to my cat that way. I would never speak to my parent that way, my sibling that way, my best friend that way. Of course you wouldn't. So why are you speaking to yourself that way? Where can you find your strength, your courage, your inner lion in a soft, supportive, expansive way? This is how we make change. We have to change the inner landscape in order to change our outward behavior, always. So if strength has come up, ask yourself, can I hug my inner lion? And maybe that hug looks like sweet affirmations. I love myself. I'm good enough. Sometimes I make mistakes. Oh well, I'll try again. I always do my best. I really care about others. I show myself love and respect. These are the internal tools. This is the internal dialogue that is vital to making change. So spend some time with the Strength card. If your life path number is 8, mine is 8, look that up. It is also, it's a card, it's a life path of leadership, compassion. It might be helpful to help you interpret the Strength card. And as always, if any questions come up, please, I would love it if you would put them in the comment section below. Love to start a dialogue. And again, I will leave all of my information in the description box below in case you'd like to get in touch with me or work with me in any way. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'll see you again soon.